Hi children, this is your social ma'am. See, today we are going to learn chapter 2 Inside Our Earth from Geography. See, from this chapter, what we are going to learn, for example, already you know the people, what are the things are located on the earth. For example, buildings, roads, mountains, and lot of things. But do you know what all the things are available inside of the earth? That we are going to learn in this chapter. See, children, these are all the contents we are going to learn: introduction, interior of the earth, rocks and minerals, types of rocks, rock cycle. Check your knowledge and listening skill. See this slide, children. So, you may find lot of things are located outside of the earth. It may be buildings, water sources like rivers, etc., mountains, and living and non living things. Interior of the Earth. The Earth is made up of several concentric layers with one inside another. What is meant by concentric layers? Have you seen onion? Yes. See, in that onion you can see that layers inside the layers. So one another you can see in that onion. So that we can call it as concentric layers. The Earth also the same. See the picture. So in our earth we can have the different types of layers. What are the layers? Crust, mantle, then core. See the picture carefully. See this next slide, children. So in this slide we are going to learn the first layer of the earth, that we can call it as crust. What is meant by crust? The uppermost layer over the earth's surface is called the crust. See that next slide, children. See, in this slide you can see the picture of continental crust and oceanic crust. What is mean by continental crust? See, we can have continents on our earth, that means land area, and also we can have water area on our earth. So under the continents we can have some part of land area, that we can call it as continental crust. And also after the ocean water, the down we can have somewhat the land area, the top of the land area of the water source, that we can call it as oceanic crust. So this crust for this continental area we can have up to 35 kilometers. For this oceanic crust we can have 5 kilometers. The crust of continental moss made up of silica and alumina. So shortly we can call it as Sial. Then oceanic crust made up of silica and magnesium. So we can shortly call it as Sima. See the next slide, children. See the next layer of the earth crust, we can call it as Mandel. It extends up to a depth of 2900 km. See the next slide, children. This is the core layer of the earth. The innermost layer is the core with a radius of about 3500 km, and it is made up of nickel and ferrous. Ferrous means iron. So this is called as knife. It has very high temperature and pressure. See the next slide, children. Rocks and minerals. The earth's crust is made up of various types of rocks. A group of minerals bound together and made a rock. It can be of different color, size and texture. So we can have different types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. What is meant by igneous rocks? Igneous rock is formed when magma cools and solidifies. It may do this above or below the earth's surface, and also it is called as primary rocks. See the next slide, children. So we have two types of igneous rocks. What are they? Extrusive and intrusive. So what is meant by extrusive igneous rocks? The molten lava cools on the Earth's surface is called extrusive igneous rocks. For example, basalt. See the top of the Earth, you can see that lava, then it hardened, then it made a type of rock, we can call it as extrusive. What is meant by intrusive igneous rocks? The molten lava cools in down of the earth or inside of the earth. We can call it as intrusive igneous rocks. For example, granite. See the next slide, children. The next type of rock is sedimentary. So usually rocks roll down, crack and hit each other and are broken down into smaller fragments. Fragments means pieces. These particles are called sediments. These sediments are transported and deposited by wind, water, etc. So, these loose sediments are compressed and hardened to form the sedimentary rocks. For example, sandstone. It contains fossils of plants, animals, and microorganisms. The third type of rock is metamorphic. What is meant by metamorphic? Igneous and sedimentary rocks can change into metamorphic rocks under great heat and pressure. Yes, if we are giving great heat and pressure to that particular rocks, then it can change as metamorphic rocks. The changes of these rocks, we can call it as rock cycle. One type of rock changes to another type under certain conditions in a cyclic manner. This process of transformation is called rock cycle. See this diagram, children. This is the rock cycle. When this magma comes out of the earth, it forms igneous rocks. Then this igneous rocks broke into several pieces that we can call it as sediments. These sediments form sedimentary rocks. And also if we are giving heat and pressure, then we can change it as metamorphic rocks. And also this metamorphic rocks, due to the high heat and pressure, then it again changed as magma. So this process will continue like this. And also for example, sedimentary rocks can directly change as magma, and also sedimentary rocks can change as sediments. And also igneous rocks can change directly as metamorphic rocks and also the sediments. So likewise it can change into several transformations. This we can call it as rock cycle. See the next slide, children. What are the minerals? Rocks are made up of different minerals. Not only rocks, see whatever the things we are using, it can have some minerals inside. So naturally occurring substances which have certain physical properties and chemical composition, that we can call it as minerals. For example, coal, gold, etc. Learn yourself and improve your knowledge. Find out the historical buildings and which are rocks were used. Which are the types of rocks were used. Find out the games which are used to play with stones. Learn the process of making tiles, granite, marble, etc. Take a sponge ball and try to do interior of the earth layers. Check your listening skill, children. What are the layers of the earth? Differentiate intrusive and extrusive igneous rocks. Recall the seer, sima, and knife. How igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks can change into metamorphic rocks. Give one example for minerals. Thank you, children.